All right, so today's video, this one is exactly what it says. It is simplifying the LRE trade. Okay, as if you followed me, if you know how I trade and what I do, the trade that I take is called an LRE trade. Okay, that stands for low risk entry. That's a low risk entry trade, and that is part of the Apex sniper system. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to explain it. I'm going to explain it in simplified terms. I'm going to simplify this, how I take it, what I look for, and this goes for the entries, okay? I say I have basically 3 rules when I look for an entry, okay? And I'm going to go through those, and I'm going to make it quick. It's not going to be a very long video, but it's going to be very impactful. So those of you that you don't know what this is part of the Apex sniper system. It's not a trade I created. This is a creation of their trades, right? So I have just I believe I have figured out how to really spot the good ones, basically, and what to look for. And so, and what simplicity is, so this is part of what's called a simplicity trade. And for those of you that don't know anything about Apex, the sniper system, the trade itself is called simplicity. And what that is that's just a trend, right? That's just a trend. And the LRE is a pullback of the trend. That's really all it is. It's a trend and a pullback of the trend. Now, the Apex system, it is mainly based off of, it's called order prints, which is basically like order flow. You know how order flow, you have the numbers. Let's see, let me pull this up real quick. You have a whole bunch of numbers everywhere, right? On order flow. So what Apex does is they have that. But based on what happens with these orders, the algorithm, what it does is it prints things on our charts to tell us what is actually happening. So instead of having to sit here and watch all these numbers, I know, okay, this blue box up here, let me change this. This blue box right here, that means these orders are trapped. They're trapped orders, right? So I don't have to even watch this. I don't have to watch this chart. Apex does that for me. Now look at this. This is what it looks like. It prints all this onto the charts. And it might look like a lot, but to the naked eye, okay. But once you learn this, it's so impactful and it tells you exactly what's happening in the market. And you start seeing the same things over and over again. Okay. So to start off real quick, you do have to know how a simplicity trade works. Okay. So I'm going to show you real quick a simplicity trade and what that means. Now this chart is our simplicity chart. It's a 30-second chart. You can see that there, 30 seconds. And what it does is it measures implied volatility with the CBOE indices and price action. Okay. So when the two lines agree and are in this angled and go in the same direction, it means price and implied volatility matches, and more than likely it's going to go in that direction. When they angle and meet again in the opposite direction, then there it goes. Okay. And then whenever it's not, that means it's choppy. See, for example, right here, you can see it's red and green. So what do we have? We have some choppiness. Okay. That's simple. Now, how a simplicity trade works, just real quick before I dive into my trade that I take, you have to know what is a valid simplicity trade. Because remember, an LRE is a low risk entry. All it is a pullback of this trade. Okay. So let's show you here. Let me get here we go. You can see that better. So what we have, what you need is two lines to be the same color, these lines here, same colored, angled in the same direction. Okay, so in this case, to go short, we need both lines angled down and red, and then the next one to break it. Okay, to break the bottom. So let me show you what I mean. Sorry about that. Let's see. Okay. So right here we have, if you look, this line is angled down and this line is angled down, right? So what we need is the next bar to break the bottom of this wick. So let's go to the next bar. Did it break it? Did not. So now we have to wait for 2 lines to angle down again. Okay, these are kind of angled down. It broke it, but what you really want is, if you have to say it's kind of angled down, then maybe wait. You want a clear angle down, okay? Let's see. Okay, now this is clear angled down, right? These are clearly angled down. Now we need the next bar to break the bottom of this wick. Didn't break it, so now we need 2 lines to angle down again. Okay, these are pretty much angled down here. We need to break the bottom. There it goes. It broke the bottom. Now that's an entry. 1 to 2 ticks below that, there's an entry. And then your stop is up here above this line. And then you trail it down. Just like that. And it goes. And you wait. And you trail it down using either the solid line or the dashed line. Or you look to take profit at targets. Okay? That's it. That's simplicity. Okay? So now let's talk about an LRE. A low risk entry. When do you enter the low risk entry? When do you look for a pullback? Okay? So the low risk entry is when price is going down and pulls back to the solid line of the previous bar within 2 points. Okay? So if we're looking, price pulled back here. Here's the solid line. You need to be within 2 points. So here we're at 70, 75, 870, 75. Solid line is here, 72, 75. So technically that's within 2 points. You could have got in and went short. Now, would you have in this scenario? Not sure. That depends on the rest of the charts that I'm going to show you. Okay. But that's what you look for. Pullback within 2 points of the solid line. Okay. See right here, pull back right to the solid line, 857.75. The previous bar line is 58.50. That's a pullback. And you take it back short. Okay. Now, that's it. Now, you only take the first 2 pullbacks. The first pullback, if it continues down, typically may go further than the second, but then you take the second one. After the second, you don't want to take a third because that could be the end of the run. Maybe not, but typically you want to stay within the first 2, okay? So that's it. That's the LRE. That's the pullback. Now, how do you know? You don't want to just take every single one of them, right? So how do you know which ones to take? I have 3 things I look for. Basically 3 things. Okay. So first thing, I want HD or ODD on, or another potential sniper setup. And I say potential because we don't know yet, because a sniper setup requires a reversal bar, right? So if it's setting up with a potential setup, then that's great. With an LRE, it closes down, bam, great. So first one, HD or ODD or another potential sniper setup. So let's look at that. Okay, let's see here. I actually have one right here. So let's look at this one that I had. Okay. This pullback, we have a simplicity short. Okay, it's pulling back. You could have gotten, okay, so these dotted lines, in case you don't know, these are order prints. These are mini magnets printed from my 30 tick chart. If you don't know anything I'm talking about right now, then this is not for you. You need to start with the Apex Sniper Bootcamp and learn all of these things first, and then come back and watch this video, because this isn't for somebody that's just starting in the Apex Bootcamp. or with Apex Sniper system. This is if you already know the basics. You already know sniper trades. You already know this stuff. This is a little more advanced and how and why you need to take these low risk entries. Okay. So here it's copying from my 30 tick chart, the order prints. Okay. It pulled back here. So let's take a look at the 10 tick chart. I'm going to pull that over because I know it's pulling back. As price is pulling back, I'm looking to see, will I take this trade? Okay, so here is where we would be. But let's do this. Okay, price is pulling back. It's messy, right? It's pretty messy. So that may be a reason why I might not take this, but look how messy it is. It's coming, but it's still coming down. It's messy. But then we get a few clean bars. And what do you notice as it's pulling back? Okay, remember I told you I'm looking for HD or ODD or another potential setup, right? So as it's pulling back, you see this number building up. That's HD. Okay? That's HD. So then up here, we have 200% HD. Okay? That's a lot of, that's a pretty good amount of HD. Then what you start seeing is this mini magnet trying to lay. Right? Now, we don't know if it's going to stay there, but we have HD. If we have HD and we're trending down, I'm taking this short. We do have the deviation here, but let me do this. Look at this area down here. This is a strong area. This is a good level. We have a wall. We have a mini magnet. Paul, this COI down here from the 30 tick. We have a bunch of stuff that could pull this down. Right? So I'm willing to take a shot on this because it has HD. If this didn't have HD and had nothing else, nah, I wouldn't really like it. But I'm looking for at least HD. Okay? So if this one you got in, at, let's just call it 870 for easy math. It made it right down to this COI. It's a clear target. And then chopped around down there. Okay? Yeah, you had a little bit here to the left. You had these clusters. But with this HD, potentially laying a mini magnet here. And then let me pull over the 30 tick. That was right here. So look what happened though. To the left. Here we have a top, laid a mini magnet. Came back up, couldn't even get back to the mini magnet. Came back up here, exhaustion box, trapped orders, double mini magnet. I mean, it's having a hard time breaking through that, right? Came back up, tested it again. Star 7, low volume score. Making its way back up, mini magnet, mini magnet. This is telling me this is going to push down to the ZOI. Because remember, mini magnets do one of two things. It's a push off point or it's attracted to them. Okay. So here it's come down, come up. This bar closed down with the mini magnet. So it's pushing down. This one again, pushing down. This one again, this is where my LRE is. Okay. Well, yeah, it could come back up in this area and chop, but more than likely it's pushing down to the ZOI. That's what I would be thinking. And that's what it did. And like I said, the reason why I would take that is because of the way that 30 tick looked like that. But also right here, we had that HD. And as soon as this bar closes and I see, okay, that mini magnet closed and then the 30 tick mini magnet closed. Yeah, I'm staying in this to try to get to this ZOI. Now in the beginning, you don't have to, you can have set targets, whatever it is, 20 ticks for pre-market, 40 ticks for after the open. This is NQ. Or you can go for targets like I do. So it's up to you. Okay, so that's the first thing I want to look for. I definitely want to look for HD or ODD. And what I mean by ODD is, let's say, okay, let's just say, for example, I was looking for an LRE off of this point up here, right? and price pulled back, pulled up, did this, and kind of came here, but then made a higher high up here and had an ODD number instead of HD, well, it's fine because it pulled up higher. But in this case, it's a HD. So ODD up here to come back down would be great. But since it didn't pull up that much further than this area to the left, then I want HD to go down. Whichever way, if I'm going down in this scenario, I want HD to send me down, or it pull up higher and give me ODD to send me down. That makes sense. Okay. So the next one, so I mean that's pretty simple. You should know HD and ODD. That's pretty simple. Or a sniper trade, right? So as this is pulling up, like let's say as this is pulling up, it says potential trapped Xbox. You know, that'd be great if this set up a trapped Xbox with HD and it closed down and sends me short. Or if this is pulling up, says potential SLZ or potential Lorex to go in my direction, beautiful. Okay, so these three simple little steps that I'm talking about that I look for, I just need one of them and I'll jump in the LRE. Now, if you start combining them, man, that's more like Lori teaches. That's more confirmations, okay? So, next one, off of a nice level. Let's look for a nice level here. We have, pull up the simplicity chart again. Okay. Scroll back. This is Friday. Okay, I had this. I wanted to show this one. Let's see here. Okay, right here at 10:39. We have a long, right? Okay, look at all this mess to the left. Look at all this. It's a lot of mess. But we have a long. Right, simplicity long is coming up. I mean, this is a nice long, nice trend. Breaking through stuff, going up. It's up here. Okay, we have a pullback. Now let's measure it. We are at about 948. The line is at about 940. So this is 3 points, okay? Not quite an LRE. But why I want to point this one out is because let's show you what was there. Okay. All right, this is where we were. This is a strong trend up. It broke all this junk to the left. Breaking up. Look at up here. We have all these stacked ZOIs. We got a lot of stuff there, right? Price got up to it, rejected, came down, pulled up. Look at this. ODD here, because it made a higher high, 28%. Came back down still in this area. We got a bunch. This is a strong level, right? Couple ZOIs, red. This dotted line is my red institutional block from the 30 tick. We don't get a lot of those. Got rejected to come back down below it. Pulled up, came back down. So this is a strong level here. Okay. I'm not expecting it just to break right back through. So right here is where my LRE would be on this pull back down. Okay. Now, what do we have here? So I'm looking at this level as price is pulling back down. Because we're here, right? We're here. Price is pulling down. If you look at the simplicity chart over here, it's pulling down. What I'm expecting, let me get back over there. So as price is pulling down, one second. Me doing that to the chart kind of, there we go. Okay, as price is pulling down, I'm looking at the simplicity. So I'm looking at the simplicity chart and I see it's pulling back and it's getting close to my solid line, right? But what do I see here on my 10 tick chart immediately? I'm like, ooh, I'm going to wait till price gets really close to this and hop in. So it didn't technically, got within 3 points of the solid line, right? But I would have really wanted it to come down and hit this level, and I would have went long right off of this level. In this case, it didn't quite get there, but let's just say you got in at 1048 here, okay? Your stop is going to be at least 5 points behind it. So it's going to be at, what's that, 37. Oh, I'm sorry. 943 here. So our stop would be below that level. And that's perfect because if this breaks this level, I went out. Because if this breaks this, we're probably going to run back down, right? Makes complete sense. So I'm using this like a wall. Okay, remember, we're snipers. This is snipers. What do snipers do? They hide behind things and wait for the right moment to fire. So here it's pulling back. Now, I'm mainly talking about entries here. Okay, so I'm not going too deep into, why I would not take a trade, a particular trade. But in this scenario, so as it's coming down, I don't love that it's laying these double mini magnets and kind of has, this mini magnet here and these. But we have a ton of HD, that strong level that my stop will be behind. I probably would take the chance on this one. I'd risk this one. As you can see, it did pull up, gave a little chop here, and then, it pulled up to these double mini magnets, which that's where my target would be. So let's say we got in at 948, right? Those double mini magnets, you got 10, 11 points off of this. Easy. Easy. And to me, if it wasn't for these obstructions like right here, this would be a no-brainer just about, because it's pulling back. We have this wall. This is a strong level. I look for strong levels. I don't even need HD here. If with this level, that's what I'm looking for. I'm taking it off of it. Okay. Has HD. So like I said, if you can combine, even better. 10 points right here. Bam. Okay. So that's what I'm looking for. Strong levels or walls. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Just 3 things that I look for. That's it. And then when you combine them, perfect. Last one, retest on an area to the left. Okay. So a lot of times there's things I'm looking at to the left that we're going back to retest. Let's go for an example on this one. Okay. 947. I had to mark down a few examples here. This is Friday also. These happen every day though. These happen every day. You can go through and you can see them every single day. Okay, 947. That's going to be this pullback here. Okay. Let's go through. We have a short. This is right pretty close to after the open. Short. Okay, this pulled back here. This going right. There's settlement there. So pulled back. This could have been an LRE potentially. 44.25. Maybe. Okay, so but then it breaks through settlement. It's going short. Now here we go. We have an LRE right here. Okay. Now let me pull over the 10 tick. 947. Go back here. Okay. Running short. We hit the ZOI, popped up. Continuing. Okay. So you may be thinking, wow, this thing is going long. Why would you short up here? Because this is the entry up here. Right up here. Why would you short this? It looks like we're trending long. You're right. But let's take a look at the 30 tick. Let me show you. Let's go to the 30 tick chart. 947. Okay. So look what we have here. We have a short trend. We're trending short, right? After the open, we're going short. Short. What happens here? We hit settlement. We hit this this red ice or eye block. Pops up. Okay, we have HD up here on the 30 tick. Shoots down. Double cluster, mini magnet, and 30% ODD. So that's telling me if this bar closes up, it might go long. In this case, it went long a couple of bars. And then, bam, ran down. So it's like, whoa, that didn't hold up. Not much, but look what we have here. Double clusters, mini magnet. Okay. This is kind of an area of interest here, right? We don't know if it's going to be really strong, but it's kind of an area. Now, what happens when we start to pull back up to where an LRE is? Oh, look at that. Look where this mini magnet is trying to lay, where our LRE entry to go short is. Right there where this mini magnet is, exact same level. So that's telling me if this does go short, well, that's a strong level. If this lays this mini magnet here. Now, again, we don't know while we're in the trade or when we enter the trade if it's going to stay there. Okay, but this was, I like that. And in this scenario, not just the mini magnet, price stopped here and bounced up. Okay, so this is a pretty much, I mean, it was a quick support. It wasn't a strong support for a long time, but it was a quick support. Busted through, came back up and tested it as resistance. So if I can just get a bounce, remember, I'm not looking to take hundreds of points, right? I'm looking for scalps. So I'm getting a bounce off of that with an LRE. So that's testing an area. And then if you would have taken it right here, let's just call it an 805 for easy math, and you run it right down, I mean, it's a nice little gain right there. I mean, that's what, 15 points or so. Nice little rundown right there. Bam. And then as this is coming down, I mean, the double clusters, I like that there's double clusters here because that's telling me there's a little bit of a fight. And as this comes down, okay, the seller's won right now. Bam. And you're out. Okay. So that's what I mean by looking at areas to the left. It can be on the 30 tick. It could be on the 10 tick. Okay, so if price is pulling back to something and you see to the left, oh man, it's pulling right back to where earlier, right there to the left, that was a very strong support. And now it could be a resistance. Then I short it from there. I always look from areas to the left. Just like this, especially when you have an area that there was a mini magnet and then it wants to lay another mini magnet exactly on the same level. So, okay, that's nice. So, again, I look for any of these three to happen. If I just have one with an LRE, I'll take it. Okay? If I have a combination of any of these, no brainer for me. Now, what you got to remember is the strength of the entry determines how long your trade goes. Okay, so if I have all three of these things, like let's say I got HD built up, it's potential Lorex to go with it or HD trapped Xbox to go with it, bouncing off of a nice level and it's retesting area to the left, I'm probably going to target the next order print on the 30 tick. Like, oh, this is going to run. So I'm going to let it run and I'm going to trail it with my stop. Okay. If it's just one of these and there's maybe something in the way, 5 points away, 10 points away, I'm prepared. I know, okay, this may not run very far. So as soon as I enter it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my stop and I'm going to be ready to throw it to break even as soon as it gets to that point if I can't go any further. Now, again, that's only if you're not trailing. If you're just going for an easy 20, 40 tick target, great. I personally manage my trade where if I have a target, let's say I'm going for 20 ticks. Once the price gets to 15 or more ticks, I'm dropping my stop at break even because I don't want it to come back on me and take a full loser when it was a few ticks away from winning. Same thing. If I'm at 40 ticks, as soon as price gets to around 30 ticks, I'm dropping, 28, 30 ticks, something like that. I'm dropping at break even and let it sit and see what happens. Okay. So this is all I'm really looking for. All I'm really looking for whenever I'm looking for an LRE. Now, let's see. That's it. That's it. So a couple of areas of when not to take them. When not to take a trade. Okay, so let me see. There was one I saw pre-market. Good example of why not to take it. Let me see if I can grab that real quick. I think it was this one. 824. Maybe that was because it's too close to dark zone. Maybe it was back here. Let me see. But when I don't have any of those three things, I don't take it. I mean, that's simple. I just don't take it. Let me do that over here real quick so I can see. I think it was, where are you? Okay, yeah, it was this one, 824 area. Okay. Yeah, so this one pulled back, right? Okay, this looks like you're looking at it, it's pulling down. You're like, okay, this is pulling back, bam, right here. You got an LRE right here, right? Now, here's why I wouldn't take it and why I skipped it, this one. Okay? It was here. So, price is coming down. We get double clusters. We get a little choppy, right? Okay, it breaks that and pulls down a little further. 17%. That's telling me, ooh, this could be getting exhausted now. So let's see. It's doing this little bit of up and down. But look what happens here. If you look, you kind of have this little defined, it's not really range, kind of a zone chop block. A little bit of a top and bottom here, right? Price is consolidating some, but then look, breaks out. The LRE was up in here. I don't like that because that's telling, I'm looking at this like, okay, this could be the break of the short trend and start a long run up. Because when it got up to here, there was nothing. Yeah, there's this ZOI here in this mini magnet. But really, other than that, there was nothing left, nothing on my 30 tick all the way over here to retest. This is not HD, and there's no setups happening, right? Because what did I say that I look for? HD, ODD, or another sniper setup off a nice level and retest an area to the left. One of those three things. I have zero. Okay? I have zero. And not to mention, this may, if this did start to come down, it might come right back down to the top of this to test it and then pop back up. I see that happen over and over. So since it's testing this area, it basically broke up. If, like, let's say it was here. Let's say it came up to right here. Now we're at the top. And let's say this was where an LRE was. And it starts setting up one of those three things with it. Like, well, wouldn't really be HD, but let's just say a sniper setup starts setting up. Potential trapped Xbox right here. And this is an LRE. Oh, I might be more willing to take it because that could launch it short, right? But because it hasn't broken this little top that it formed. But now it broke that top. It's like, ooh, I don't like that. That makes sense? I don't like that. Now where the LRE is, there's no trapped Xbox inside there, so that's not a sniper setup. This is not a sniper setup you'd even want to take, even if it was. Nothing to the left. This isn't really strong right here. Just a mini magnet in this ZOI. It's not really nothing strong to me. Nothing to the left. Has nothing. So I skipped it. Ended up going a little bit choppy, right? Kind of tested this top, almost, like I said. And that would have been a easy loser. Now look at this. We got a Lorax here, short, creating a crash. Whole nother thing. But does that make sense? So that's why I can trade nice and relaxed. Okay. Because I know what I'm looking for. I know what I'm looking for. And that allows you to look ahead, you look left, and you're just waiting. Okay. And that's really it. That is really all I look for. Let me eye zones, I don't really pay attention, which is these green and red. I don't really take them into account too much. I do look at them as more of a top and bottom breakout point. So like here, we created kind of a floor. So I'm like, okay, so more than likely if that was news and stuff. More than likely if this price comes back down to it, I would need it to break below that. Simplicity short below that or something. But I kind of look at it more of like you can see a top and bottom, right? So it's really all I look at them for. And that's it. That is it. That simple, guys. So hope this helps. If there's anything you feel like I missed or you want me to add to or make another video about, let me know in the comments. And like I said, I really hope this helps. This is, in my opinion, the simplest way to look for these trades. And they work. I mean, they work. So especially when you combine many of these for extra confirmations. Okay. One is great. More than one, you get no brainers. All right. So hope this helps. And let me know what y'all think. Take care, everybody, and trade well.